Are you ready? Basically, okay, this is just me normal. I'm Eleanor. And today, I want to talk about some conspiracy theories. But I actually have a full, page and, 3/4. So, basically, I was going to make, a regular video where I was just talking about something that I wanted to talk about. But I was just scrolling through the comments of some video that was like, what's a conspiracy theory that you really believe is true? And there are some good ones that I was like, I could really just talk about this. And there's a few I'm gonna talk about, there's a few I'm gonna just comment on. Yeah, these are conspiracy theories that I think about or I don't know, agree with maybe. My makeup bag's right here, so I'm looking for something because I'm looking like okay. Update from me first. Doing swell, doing alright. Powering through until Christmas break. My Thanksgiving break was okay. I was really congested for most of it. So, yeah. Okay, let's just go. Okay, so the first conspiracy theory I'm going to talk about is reincarnation. Reincarnation is something that I do believe in. And I know a lot of people don't. Again, this is not me saying in any way that these are correct or you should believe these, but I'm just stating my opinions on them. So yes. Reincarnation is something I believe in, and it's something that I've quite frankly always believed in since my mom mentioned the idea to me when I was like 6, maybe. When she was like, some people believe in reincarnation, and I was like, what's that? And she said it's when people believe that when you die, you become someone or something else. And it comes from the fact that energy doesn't die, it transfers to something else. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it's just there, and when you die, it has to go somewhere, it has to do something. I've always believed in reincarnation. Whenever, I feel like I've talked about this on here before, whenever the video that was like the past life regression session was like surfacing the internet and a bunch of people were doing it and they were like, oh, my past life was this, and then everyone was commenting and they were like, oh, this is fake because that was my past life too. I did it. I did the little regression session, and of course afterwards my mom was like, that's hypnosis, that's fake, they're hypnotizing you. Maybe they are. To me, it really sounded a lot like a guided meditation, to be honest. If you want to do it or search for it, search past life regression session, okay, if you want to do it or hear about it. Because I think it's just cool to do, even if you don't believe in it, you never know. But I won't talk a lot about the experience I had with the video. It wasn't a bad one, honestly, but of course, the guide kind of guides you through life and death. And so a lot of people were experiencing themselves dying, which is something I did experience when I did that video, which was a little terrifying. Um, but be safe, be mindful. But yes, I definitely believe in reincarnation, and I believe that when I die, I will be reincarnated somehow. Don't know. Wish I could tell you. I could go on about my spiritual beliefs forever, but that's just me. Okay. The next conspiracy theory is that we will never fully know what we are, slash, we are aliens. And I kind of enjoy this, theory. I don't know how I stand with this one. We will never fully know what we are is great, I think, because some people believe that we evolved from animals. Some people believe God created us out of dust and mud. Some people believe something else entirely. Those are just the two most popular theories that I've heard of. And yes, I am calling religion a theory because all religions are a theory. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But yeah, we will never fully know what we are. this just dives into my further conspiracy theories I have written down about how the government hides so much stuff from us. So I think to a certain extent, maybe we're not supposed to know what we are, where we came from. Someday, I think, to this earth or somewhere, somehow, it will be revealed to humankind what we are, how we are made, something like that. Something will happen. I believe something will happen where someone will either confirm or deny the Bible or the evolution or something like that. People, they trace us back to, apes, of course, and some people believe that, some people don't. I think it's just kind of go wherever you want to go with that, believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not going to tell you anything's right or wrong because I don't know what's right or wrong. I just have my own personal beliefs and theories. But diving into the theory that we are aliens definitely goes along with the theory that we're not alone in the universe, and I do believe that. We're always on the search for aliens, but we can also talk about aliens in the ocean, which I will get to later. But yeah, I definitely think we are not the only species to exist. Of course, hence animals, plants, everything like that. There's other species already. So, maybe the universe just kind of plopped us on this planet and was like, all right, humans and animals, this planet, different species, this planet, different species. We'll see who can survive the longer, deck it out. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But I definitely do believe that theory that we are not alone in the universe. I don't know if I believe that we will never fully know what we are. I believe that we don't fully know what we are right now, but I think someday, again, it will be known or revealed. Maybe not in my lifetime, maybe not in your lifetime, but someday, probably. The next theory I have written down is that giants built the pyramids. I personally don't know how this would work. I think, very logically, I think there has to be an explanation for everything. And the people who were commenting this were like, oh yeah, like the resources they had back in the day, like there's absolutely no way they built the pyramids. Already I'm very intrigued by the pyramids, and I definitely think the pyramids mean something deeper that we all don't understand. Like, it's a mass grave. That enough is like that's enough for me to be like, okay, like what were you guys doing 40,000 years ago? Then they're aligned with the constellations and the stars. What does that mean? You know? Like, I already believe that the pyramids are fucking weird. Like, but giants building the pyramids, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, do giants exist, first of all? If we're thinking in terms of conspiracy theories, sure, giants exist. After they built the pyramids, where did they go then? Like, and again, I'm not saying this in any disrespecting way, it's just the way that I'm blatantly putting these things, so please don't take any of this offensively, if you do believe in these things, because I 100% respect that. I think, yes, probably, if that were to be true, someone larger or smarter or wiser built the pyramids. I just don't know if it's giants. There's of course a theory that a different species built them, or quote aliens. And that I could find a little bit more believable to me. But of course again, that is me. So yeah. Um yeah, that's me. Okay. Next is a theory that no one has been to space. I'm in astronomy, so I don't know if I believe this just because of how much my teacher talks about everything and these theories that no one has been to space or the moon landing wasn't real. And it's like, no, here's the facts and evidence that we have been to space and we have done this and that and we are building these things. So I don't necessarily know if I believe that no one has been to space. I think we're wussing out big time in terms of exploring it. I think someone is currently exploring or has explored light years away, different galaxies, all that, and they're just waiting to like spring it upon us. I definitely believe that. I do not believe that we have never been to space. I think we've been to space. Maybe they're lying about some of the planets, but I don't know. I don't work for NASA, so yeah, I don't really believe that conspiracy theory, but respect to people who do. The next conspiracy theory is that supernatural creatures exist, and I believe this 100%. 100% I believe that these supernatural creatures exist somewhere in this world or the next. Like, a lot of people in the past have said, like, all these old folk stories about supernatural creatures, like, they're made up, they're not real, they're meant to scare kids, blah, 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 blah. Baby, they were writing down facts. Like, they were writing down their history. Folklore, this is a conspiracy theory I didn't write down, but I believe folklore is history. To me. Like, it makes the most sense. To me. Okay, that's me. But, you know, I believe supernatural creatures exist. And then, you know, I just... Oh my gosh, I keep shaking the desk. Yeah, I believe supernatural creatures exist. Mermaids, werewolves, ghosts and spirits, witches. Witches aren't even supernatural, really. Kinds of witches are supernatural, but witches are not supernatural. You get the drift. Okay. Life is a simulation is the next conspiracy theory. And you know what? Sometimes I really believe it. Like, something will happen to me that is just so, it just seems so programmed that I'm like, life is a simulation. Like, this is a test to see how I can, like, figure this out. Like, someone has put me inside of my own simulation and is now watching me to see if I'm going to make it out. Like, you know, sometimes there's certain situations in my life surrounding one specific, like, area where something happens and I'm like, they're just waiting for me to react a certain way. Like, they're like eventually someone's gonna laugh and just be like, this is a test, like, we're testing you. Life is a simulation. Yes and no. I believe our course of life is some kind of test. I have another theory on that in here somewhere, but yeah, life is a simulation. I know a lot of people believe that or like jokingly believe that, but I'm a little bit on board with that. The next conspiracy theory is that, NASA originally exploring the ocean and stopping to explore space instead. And all the comments surrounding this were like, they found something there, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Yes, I believe that, okay? I believe there are aliens on this earth living in the ocean, and I have a couple reasons. So first of all, if we're going with the theory that humans evolved from apes, then you have to go back to what apes evolved from and what that evolved from and what that evolved from. The earth used to be water. I think all of us can agree that that is a fact. Like, probably. I'm not 100% sure, actually. But I'm pretty sure in the Bible, God created land. Somehow, some way, land just appeared on this earth. Or it came up from the ocean or something. Okay, I don't know, it freaks me out a little bit. But, long story short, everything has technically evolved from water. If we're thinking this way, you know? So there are probably things still in the water that just chose not to evolve, or aren't evolving, or something like that. I feel like any minute something's gonna like get me right now and be like, shut up. So I believe NASA tried to explore the ocean, and everybody's like, oh, the pressure, the pressure. But we have ships supportable enough to get through the Earth's atmosphere or something like that. Comment, prove me wrong. I'm intrigued to hear it, I really am. This could also explain why it's called a rocket ship, a space ship. They send in those same kind of ships down in the ocean. I think they tried to explore the ocean, found something, negotiated with it, said, okay, we'll literally let you be down here, and it came back up. Or they went down there. They're still down there. And rocket ships are a ploy to tell you, like, we're going to space, we're exploring space, but they're actually also using them to dive down and explore the ocean. So, yeah, that's where I stand on that one. Yeah. Next theory is that Michael Jackson is alive or was in the witness protection program. Me personally, I don't believe Michael Jackson is still alive. That man was so messed up. I'm sorry. His music was phenomenal, but he was so messed up. There is no way that man is alive somewhere or being hidden or anything. I can't. Like, this also makes me think of the Church of Science, I think it's called, and I don't know enough about that one to comment on it. I think one time I went on a really deep dive, but that had to be a couple years ago. I don't know enough about the Church of Science, but I know they're doing weird shit in there. But anyway, that was random to put in there. Okay. So yeah, I don't believe that Michael Jackson is alive, but if you do, okay, next theory is that the megalodon shrunk like every other evolved creature, or that megalodons still exist. One, I'm sure they probably could still exist because there's so much of the ocean that is unexplored, and they're big effing creatures, so I'm sure they can survive that pressure. And something I don't like, if we're going with the theory that there's an underwater association, yeah, I'm sure NASA went down there and was like, hey, keep your fucking megalodons to yourself, and they were like, okay, and kept the megalodons down there. Or yes, the megalodons shrunk like every other evolved creature has. Again, if we evolved from a bigger creature and we are now humans, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror right now and freaking out because what? But I'm sure, yeah, maybe they just evolved down. But I don't know much about megalodons. I don't know much about sharks. They freak me out, is all I'm going to tell you, so I'm not going to be doing much research on that. But if you know something about it, drop a little comment and I'll look at it. The next theory is timeline jumping. Don't know why I wrote this down because I don't know what timeline jumping is. I think I looked at the comment under it who was like, yeah, timeline jumping. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I'll write this down. And I was like, timeline jumping, something to do with that. That time is an illusion. Time is an illusion. For sure. For sure. The calendar is fake. I believe that. They organize it for the working class and the months and all that. Yeah. That's all I'll say about that. Next, I already talked about this. We are not alone in the universe. Yeah, we are not alone in the universe. That is my theory. My point. Next is that the moon landing was fake. Some people believe this, some people don't. I don't, but I read a few comments and now I'm like, but I don't want to be that idiot who's like, yeah, the moon landing was fake. So I don't know. I don't. Oh, yeah, I just don't know. I'll tell you that the moon landing looks fake. That's why everyone thinks it's fake. Hello, it looks fake as hell. But I couldn't really tell you. Maybe they staged the moon landing while they were busy negotiating with ocean aliens. Don't know. Okay, the next theory is that deja vu happens when you're almost dying. And I believe this. I believe this, and I've believed it for a long time since I first heard it. The theory is that whenever you have a moment of deja vu, you're having that moment of deja vu because in another timeline, that was the moment where you died. And the universe basically was like, no. No, not yet. Like, no, you're gonna survive. Or like, you're shifting your conscious to another reality of yourself. I'm freaking myself out. I'm thinking about this. Oh my gosh. Dude, literally, what if the deja vu is almost dying thing is real? I'm in this reality. A freaking car flies through my house, kills me. Now my conscious just jumped to the next reality where I'm still filming this video and talking to you. And oh, I have a really weird sense of deja vu right now. Because in another reality, a car just killed me and now I'm here reliving the same moment again, the 5 seconds before I just died, and I'm thinking like, huh, deja vu. Like, I'm believing this. I'm believing this more and more. But yeah, I definitely think deja vu is like something to do with the timeline jumping, because the other comments to do with deja vu were like, deja vu is whenever your alternate self in another universe is like lining up at the same moment as you and you're experiencing the same moment at the same time, and I'm like, personally, I can't really get as into that one, but this one I am a little bit into. So, the next theory is that ear ringing means someone is talking about you. And I believe this. I believe this as well. If it's my right ear, someone's talking about me. If it's my left ear, there's a spiritual message trying to be conveyed to me, and half the time, I am right. I really feel like that is true to me. For you, it might not be. You, literally, if you have a medical condition where your ears ring, please don't listen to me. Please don't sit there and be like, yes, my medical condition is God trying to talk to me. Like, you know that's not right. Like, um, but it is something I believe in. I've started to, like, whenever my left ear rings, I'll just kind of stop for a minute and I'll be like, okay, what am I missing right now? What am I supposed to be looking at? Sometimes I'll get it. Sometimes it'll come to me within the next few, like, moments of my life. Something like that. I'll get a text. The right ear ringing, someone's talking about me. Never fully know who it is, but I get a sense. And that's just me. You don't have to believe that. But I do believe in the theory that ear ringing means someone is talking about you. The next theory that I kind of like is that dinosaurs are dragons and scientists effed with the remains of dragons to make them look like dinosaurs. Cause, what can I say? I believe this. I haven't looked into it much, because then, like, how would you explain the mass extinction still and all that? Was it a bomb? Some people think the meteor was a bomb. I'm not commenting on that because I don't know enough about it. But I do believe that dragons exist or existed. Again, it goes in hand with the quote supernatural creatures or fantasy creatures that people think are fake. I think they're real or existed or do exist. And let me see if I wrote this, the theory that we are too small-minded to see things. And I believe that. Maybe dragons exist, we're too small-minded to see them. People who are like, of course, mermaids and werewolves and blah 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 don't exist because, you know, like that just doesn't sound right. Like that just doesn't sound like that doesn't exist. They're probably existing somewhere around you, and the fact that you believe that you can't see them is now emanating into your actual reality that you can't see them. Like, you know, I think about that because honestly, I'm not a Christian, but I went to church last Sunday with my family because I had Sunday free, and I was like, you know what? Fine. And I kind of like the church that my dad goes to. They say some interesting things. But the guy was talking about angels and how an angel appeared to Mary and told her she was going to be pregnant with this spiritual embodiment's child. And the angel was terrifying, and it wasn't this beautiful human-shaped creature. It was this, like, frankly, like, wonky looking thing with like 40 eyes and 60 limbs. Like, and I'm thinking, if the Bible is real, if that is true, then how come angels aren't still appearing to us now? How come we can't see that stuff, but they were seeing it all that time ago? You know, I think we became very close-minded. And now, like, these creatures totally exist, in my opinion, and we're just too, frankly, dumb to open our eyes and see them. Because I also believe in the spiritual third eye. People who are like, open your third eye. I do believe in that. You have your physical eyes open, now open your third one and see the second world around you. I believe in that. I probably sound really kooky right now, but that's fine because this is my belief. But, yes, I believe in the theory that there are some things we cannot see because we choose not to see them. Thank you. Okay. Next is the Princess Diana conspiracy theory. I feel like everyone knows what this is. If not, it's the theory that the royal family purposely killed her, and I think that is true. I think it wasn't for I don't see I come to disagree when people are like it was for a superficial reason. Like, no, she was just a good person who was about to set the country straight, and they were like, no, we need our crusty dusty family to stay in line, so let's just kill her now, get it over with. So yeah. Manifesting apparently is a conspiracy theory. I have a video on manifesting. I believe in manifesting. I've given you examples of when manifesting has worked for me. I believe in manifesting. So, the next conspiracy theory is that birds are cameras. What? I've heard this a lot throughout my life, and I just choose to ignore it because it just sounds so wacky to me. There's another theory that birds are like dinosaurs or dragons. But birds are cameras and they have to recharge on the electric wire is the theory that I saw in the comments, and I was like, huh. If this is true, it makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. I really don't know where to stand on that one. So, my brother has 2 pet birds, so okay. The next conspiracy theory that I saw was that people are put on the highway to slow down traffic. Like, people are, like, they purposely pay people to go drive slow on the highway to control traffic or speeders. And you know what? If the government contacted me and was like, hey, we will pay you X amount of dollars to go drive slow on the highway to slow down people, I would do it. I would do it. And I know you would too. I would do it. You know what? So maybe it's true. The next theory is that celebrities fake their death to hide from something or someone. I think this would make sense if it were true. What they're hiding from, don't know. But I think a lot of people fake their deaths, and it's kind of a smart thing, you know? Depending. Like, if you're really trying to hide from something bad, like, yeah, I'd fake my death too, girl. Bye. Um, the next conspiracy theory is color theory, and I believe this one. And color theory, conspiracy theory, is basically that this looks like a reddish purple to me, but maybe it's blue, you know? Because, like, we're all conditioned to think the same thing. Like, a teacher points to this on a board and is like, yellow. And we're all like, yellow. But what if it was actually green? You know? I can't get too into that because I'll start confusing myself. But that is color theory. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my personal favorite, Lindsay Lohan had a twin who died, causing her to crash out for like 20 years. I believe this. I believe this so much. When I was little, I was so obsessed with The Parent Trap and watching conspiracy videos on Lindsay Lohan's twin. And I think she existed, and then she died, or a tragic accident happened, and they had to hide it from, the world. I believe this, because that's a reasonable crash out right there. Like your twin who you did a movie with died, like, I don't even know how to get too into that, but I believe the Lindsay Lohan twin theory, 100%. This next one, y'all, I'm ready to, I don't know if I'm ready to expose myself like this, but I'm gonna say it. The next conspiracy theory is that dreaming is experiencing alternate realities, or the more common known term, shifting realities. Hello, viewers from 2020 Shift Talk. It's me, your favorite shifting baddie. Dreaming is not shifting, in my opinion. I think it's very weird the way we experience dreams. I think dreams are something completely different that the human mind is experiencing, and I think we should do more studying on dreaming. But I don't believe that dreaming is experiencing a different reality. On that note, again, hello everyone that I know in my personal life. I do believe that shifting is real. Don't flame me, okay? I do believe that shifting is real. It is the act of moving or shifting your conscious to another reality of yourself, another version of yourself.
Hi, it's me in my car editing this, and I'm still recovering from being sick. But I'm rewatching this and editing it, and I'm coincidentally wearing the same sweater, but it's actually been a week since I filmed that. And what I failed to mention in this video, because I'm just getting so ahead of myself on everything, is that I again, this is exposing myself, but since 2020 I have spent so much time, honestly, studying what reality shifting really is and what it means, because it became so overpopularized, I don't know, on TikTok, and it became mostly a Harry Potter thing where people were like, oh, shifting to Hogwarts, shifting to Draco, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and kind of just went along with it, not really knowing what it was, and then I would post about it and tell all my friends oh, I'm into shifting, and I didn't really know what it was, and now I have spent so much time recently as well researching it and actually doing correct practices for it, and it's just so different than what 2020 Shift Talk made true, and I just wanted to say that because I feel like a lot of people that I personally know that I posted these things and did this, and they were kind of on the bandwagon of this isn't real, this isn't true, because it sounds so incredibly ridiculous, and really at first it does, and that's why I spent so much time researching it and really figuring it out. So now it's something that makes a lot of sense to me, and I don't want to go any more beyond that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that way you're not sitting there oh, she sounds crazy. So okay.
You're just specifying what reality that is. Going back to my deja vu theory, but I don't think dreaming and shifting are the same thing, because dreaming is so vivid And shifting is literally you living as yourself. Like, I'm not gonna go on a whole shifting rant, because that's just not something I want to put out there for the public that knows me. Um, but yes. Um, okay. The next conspiracy theory is that superpowers are real, and I don't know where I stand on this. I think I come back to we're too close-minded to think these things, because as a kid, obviously, you make believe all these things, but you constantly, from day one, have parents or media or someone telling you, like, this isn't real, superpowers aren't real, whoa, magic isn't real. And then you're like, oh, okay, it isn't real, because it's being conditioned into you. What if it is? Playing with the elements? My favorite thing to do. You've never lit a flame and physically, like, with your hands, made it grow bigger? Try it. Focus and try it. Let me know. Okay? Superpowers, I think, exist. And I think maybe people are hiding it from us, or people with superpowers are being taken somewhere else. What can I say? The next conspiracy theory is that GPS is getting us to waste gas. Like, they're working with gas stations trying to take us on longer routes to get us to waste gas. I say yes, I believe this because of my everyday experiences with GPS. Thank you. The next conspiracy theory is that the government is changing food ingredients in order to control population and make people die quicker or faster by, rooting out the weak stomached. 'Cause lactose intolerant people? Where did you come from? Because in them olden days, them cavemen were drinking milk from cows and goats. And if you couldn't stomach that, you were dead. Like, but, I obviously, at the end of the day, the government is in control of what is going into our foods. They're approving or disapproving certain things. Like, and why is it only in America? Let me know. Europe, here I come. But yeah, I definitely believe in that conspiracy theory that I think is more of just like you're stating the facts that the government is approving these awful things that are going into our food. The conspiracy part is that it's for population control. Maybe. Maybe. The next is that the government controls the weather. I don't even know how to get into this. Like, maybe, but I just don't have enough theories or evidence on how they would be doing that. You know? Um, Also, if we have been to space, which I think we have been to space, we know what Earth's atmosphere looks like. We know how it works. Don't know if the government's controlling it. I remain neutral on this one. The next conspiracy theory is that UFO sightings are time travelers coming back to, like, see us and see our world. I had never heard of this one before today. And honestly, I believe it low-key. I believe it. Because what other species is going to be taking their... Okay, us, actually, when we send rocket ships to space. But that's fine. You know what? Maybe it's time travelers. I think time travel has been invented, or is invented, and is being used some way, somehow. I don't know. Bridget Mendler, give me a call. Let me use your time machine. Um, the next theory is that the world is a spiritual warfare battle against good and evil. I'd also never heard of this one before, and I was like, This is intriguing is what it is. I don't know where I stand on it. I'm leaning more towards yes, but it's intriguing actually to think about that. I think if it's real, it's being done very well. Another theory is that the government is taking people, like people who disappear, they're taking them for something bigger that has never been mentioned to us before. Again, I remain a little neutral on this just because it scares me, and also I didn't do enough research on what that bigger thing would be, so I don't know. But it would make sense. The next theory is that debt is not real because print more money, and I agree with this one. I agree with this one so hard. Why are we trying to set up social status with money when you can just print more money and everyone can be happy? I could go into the actual logical reasons on that, or I don't know. Like, but I definitely think the government is like withholding something from us to do with money, because like, what? Also, there's a theory, I didn't write it down, but it's that there are more billionaires in the world who are just not talked about, like people who are billionaires who are not famous. So, yeah. And I believe that. Um, this is a conspiracy theory. Um, it's that you will stop seeing someone if you're not meant to be in each other's lives anymore. And I believe it. And I'll give you an example, girl. Okay, dated this awful person my sophomore year. And we went back to each other so many times. Not even for the fact that, like, we were at the same school. It was the fact that we were still seeing each other everywhere. Everywhere. And so I've always been a spiritual, like, conspiracy theory, like, this means something person. So I was like, you know what? Obviously, we're not done. And then the second we were actually done, we still went to the same school for a couple more months. But I never saw her anywhere at all. I think we ended up running into each other one time because we had to go to the same theater event. But after that, literally never saw or heard about her again. Like, and then I'll give you a sadder example, which is where I was best friends with this girl starting the end of my sophomore year and all of my junior year. And I was in high school, she went to college. And we would talk, we would text, blah, 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 all that stuff. And I was like, you know what, like, I still really want to be friends, but obviously, like, you're in college, blah, 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 blah. Things weren't working out between us, and we stopped being friends, and I trusted. I was like, you know what, like, if she's meant to be in my life again at some point, I know you will send her back to me, and she will come back to me and be in my life if it's meant to happen that way. And I don't mean just like coincidentally running into her where I know she's going to be, but if you purposely replace her in my life as someone of importance to me. Um, but obviously, like, we don't see each other, and I think we're not meant to be in each other's lives anymore. You know? So I do believe that theory that you will stop seeing someone if you're not meant to be in each other's lives anymore. Because if you're still meant to be in each other's lives, you'll still see them around and be drawn back to them, you know? I'm almost done. This is a really long video. The next conspiracy theory is that the Mandela effect was used to see if the government could brainwash us. And I believe it 100%. If you don't know the Mandela effect, I don't really know how to explain that to you. Google it. The Googling it will give you a very straightforward answer. But I believe that yes, they used it for brainwashing to see who was gonna pick up on it and who wasn't. And if we were all just gonna brainwash each other, it'd be like, no, it's always been like this. Rooting out the stupid people. Oh yeah. Whole world of creatures we cannot see. Another conspiracy theory. I've talked about that. Yeah, I believe that. So those are all the ones I have written down. I told you my stance on them. Thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate it. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a follow. JK, you don't have to do that, but I love each and every one of you who actually watch these and tell me you appreciate the videos. It means so much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'm looking forward to editing and posting, and then filming my next one. So, thank you. Love you. Bye.